All my sisters are talking about. They're so curious about them. What do you know, Gohan? Do you remember when Elimelech and Naomi left?
Of course. It was only 10 years ago.
Well, I remember too, but...
Yes, you would have been a lot younger while I was here at the wall, even then.
Everybody's talking about how Naomi has now returned. Boaz, glad you're back. Sorry to hear about, well, it was such a tragedy to lose. I'm just gonna sit down.
Yes, please. I don't want anyone to feel awkward around me. Sarah had been sick for a long time, and I have grieved.
No more talk about that.
Okay, so what were you talking about?
Oh, the return of Naomi and...
The beautiful Moabite that returns similar? No doubt.
Ah, is this your real interest then, Nariah?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's all this about, Nariah?
You may not have heard because of,
Yes.
well, Naomi, your cousin Elimelech's wife, returns.
Alone, she returns to Bethlehem?
Elimelech and her sons have died. She is alone.
Not quite alone. There is the Moabite.
Naomi's daughter-in-law traveled with her. They say she plans on staying and taking care of Naomi.
I've heard that she's claimed Jehovah as her God.
As the one and only God?
It is what they say.
Bilhan, what are you thinking?
It is unusual.
Ah, the first case.
Time for me to leave.
It's good to have you back, Boaz.
It's good to be back.
Ruth found it difficult to fit in her new community. The women would watch her, obviously curious about her, but no one would ever speak to her. New to manual labor and the laws that allowed for the poor to pick up what was left behind in the fields, she was so nervous the first day she entered a barley field. She started down the long rows behind the farm workers. It was backbreaking work to bend and gather and carry what she collected all day. To get her mind off the heat and the difficulties, she would listen to the Hebrews in the field around her and practice perfecting the language. But mostly, she used that time to talk to God. He became her companion like she had never had before. Day after day, Ruth returned home tired from gathering in the fields. With Ruth's bounty, Naomi was able to make barley bread and cakes and traded some bread for other supplies they needed. Naomi watched Ruth praise Jehovah for his provision. She saw her faithfulness to him and also to her. Sometimes when Naomi prayed, she could thank him too. Sometimes there were a few things she wanted Jehovah to provide. For one, she'd like to have some grandchildren, and so she supposed it was time to pray Ruth a husband.
Wait a second. How do you know who I was talking about? You didn't even look.
Do you think you're the first man to ask about her, sir?
Man, great job here. I think it's time to move on to the south field. Dave, none of my men would come on to one of these women too strongly, would they?
Sir, we are men, you know.
Assure me that you'll provide protection for the women who glean at my fields. Gleaning is difficult enough as it is.
Of course. We do try, sir.
Okay, but make sure it happens.
Yes, sir. Now, sir, won't you be going off to the wall today? We're not used to having you here, at least until threshing time.
Perhaps I haven't been spending enough time here in the fields. I don't seem to know what's going on here anymore. I think I'll just stay around here today and help out.
Of course, sir. But please, won't you stand over here while you're helping me? I have a lot to do. Thank you, sir. It's good having you here.
See, I knew you needed me here.
Yeah, especially after you sent half my men to the South Field. For some reason.
We'll get a lot more done over there today, trust me.
Oh, I'm sure we will. The sooner they're done there, the sooner they can return here. And I'm sure you can understand why they're anxious to return.
Because they're distracted by a beautiful, exotic foreigner.
Speaking of beautiful women, let's see what these ladies have picked up from your floor and our lazy men have dropped today.
You are daughter of Naomi?
I am now.
I've heard you've lost a lot lately. First husband, and then your own country.
I have lost, but I've gained too.
Oh?
A new country and a new way of life, and Jehovah has provided.
And you claim Jehovah then in this new way of life?
I have, but he claimed me first.
Ah, I think you could teach a Hebrew about Jehovah. Will you be a religious teacher then?
I don't think so.
My name is Boaz. And your name is?
Ruth.
Ruth. Your name means friend in Hebrew. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Well, Ruth, perhaps we will be friends. You've been gleaning here on my fields, so we sort of know each other. I'll tell you what, from now on, don't go to any of the other fields to glean. Stay at the ones here on my farm. And please, if you get thirsty, help yourself to the jars of water that my servants have filled.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know what to say.
Just say you'll see me tomorrow.
Okay then. I'll see you tomorrow.